If you want to unlock the most confident and the highest version, unstoppable version of yourself, then stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the Life Experience channel. I literally just changed the name. I don't even know if I should say the Life Experience anymore. I don't know, you guys let me know. What do you guys think? Today we're gonna be talking about something that, it's not anything new. You guys know I love to embrace anything that has to do with the bad guy. I've literally done two videos. So if you haven't watched them, literally go watch them right now. They will literally help and save you so that you can become the most confident version of you. So you can literally develop the I don't care mentality, because that mentality will save you from it will save you from landing up in the trenches. Do you wonder why you're constantly in the trenches? It is because you are a people pleaser. And the reason why I will always go back to the people pleaser when I'm talking about being a villain is because in order to become a villain, you may have done some people pleasing in your life. Because to be a villain is to finally own what you want and do what you want without the opinion and the outside noise literally coming in and affecting your authenticity and just filtering you, like, your progress in the worst possible way. So that is why I will always, if you're wondering why I always reference it back to people pleasing, well, that is the reason. First things first, in order to become a villain, you need to stop relying on external validation. Now, I know you guys are probably tired. If you've been on my channel for a while, you're probably tired of hearing those words come out of my mouth, but it is so essential. You know what I realized like a few days ago when I was like, I don't even know what I was doing, but I just had this, when you have those random moments of epiphany. Like, I had this epiphany and I was like, what's funny about us humans is that we literally crave external validation. But the thing is, if we never truly feel good about ourselves, we don't care what anybody else has to say, which literally just goes to show that external validation it's nothing. Sometimes to us humans it may come across as natural, but the thing is, for me personally, I don't believe that it's a natural thing. I think as we've grown and developed, and as we've been exposed to more people and more opinions and social media and all of these things, it's been perceived and it's been seen as this natural thing. But I don't think so. A child would never want the validation of somebody else, because they truly believe, what if they painted something and it looks horrible to other people, but it's right here, the painting is right here, and they think that they made the best painting or the best drawing at school in their class. That's their belief, and no one is going to say anything to them that's going to make them shy away from their beliefs. And I always make the child reference, because as a child you're not exposed to the outside noise yet. You're not exposed to social media and the real world and everything as much. So if a child looks at their drawing, they're gonna think it's really nice. They're gonna think, oh, that is a piece, that looks really good. And going back to what I was saying, it's so funny how we crave this external validation, but at the same time, in an instance, let me talk about appearance. In an instance where if you don't feel like you look good enough, if you don't feel like you're pretty, if you don't feel like you're good looking, and somebody tells you, oh, but I don't see what you see, oh, I didn't even notice that, and literally what that person could be saying is genuine and it's true. Because sometimes when my friends point out something in them, I'm like, I would have never had thought of that. I don't know, maybe it's a thing of like, you don't look at a person in order to analyze every single part of them. You're critiquing every single thing. Maybe that's probably one of the reasons. Or it's something that you yourself, you've seen as normal. So like when you see somebody else perceive that as weird or whatever, you're like, really? I didn't really like notice that. I didn't really get that. Even if your friends tell you, oh, you're so beautiful, literally the people surrounding you tell you you're beautiful, and you trust them and you love these people and you know that they have the best intentions for you, if you don't have that belief within yourself, it's so useless, which literally is mind-boggling to me and makes it more confused as to why, in a sense, in this context, people would still rely on external validation. if at the end of the day the opinion and the advice that you're gonna take is yours, why would you go outside and ask the outside opinion? Like it's things like from advice. It can literally be from advice, could be from appearance. Like you ask someone, how do I look, and they tell you something that you don't believe, but because you believe that, okay, this doesn't look good, but you're asking somebody else and somebody actually tells you that it's good or whatever. And I'm it's just like things like that, and I'm just like, why would you ever even rely on external validation in the first place? Because it depends, because I think also external validation, people need to realize that it's different people and people will see things differently. And I think that yes, as much as people may admire your craft or whatever, and maybe there's that one or two people that just don't, that automatically sticks with you, and that is literally you doing yourself harm because you're placing their opinion, because it's not factual, their opinion at such a high regard. For what reason? For what reason? The second thing that you need to do in entering your villain era, you need to stop caring about what other people think. I heard this somewhere, I don't know where I heard it from, but I heard it like last year, like a long time ago. And it was someone saying, okay, you can't sometimes help that you care about what other people say, but it's just about how you let it like affect you and everything. And I was like, I'm in between with that, because I feel like why would you even give it a care in the first place? Because that means that you're giving that thing importance. You're putting that thing on a pedestal. You're letting that thing have power over you. For what reason? Because for me personally, if something is not factual, if it's not factual, I do not care. I could not give a damn. Because why should I? People have opinions based on different things. People see things differently. So what makes you think that I should care about what you have to say? Just because it came from you? Really? Caring about what other people have to say, I don't think people realizes, first of all, it doesn't serve you. That's first. Second of all, I don't think people realize how much it keeps you small. Because if you're the type of person where you're like, okay, this person thinks this person thinks this, oh, that person is going to think this. That's an entirely different thing, by the way. But if you're constantly having those thoughts of like, oh, I care what the other person is saying, you don't realize how small that is keeping you, because now you're gonna do everything to the satisfaction of somebody else because you want to satisfy that person, you want to please that person. But the thing is, you will never ever satisfy the world, because the world will never be satisfied by what you give to them. And I need that to sink in. They will always want more, or they will always want less from you. They will always want more, and it will constantly keep on changing. Beauty standards change, whether that is in terms of like your weight or whatever, that constantly changes over the years. And it's like, if you only see yourself as beautiful through the lens of the world, you've dug your own grave. Realize how like constantly caring about people, how lonely it gets. It gets really lonely, because it's like, okay, let's say you've done everything to please everyone and you've been this easygoing person in X, Y, and Z. So what now? What now? What happens when you realize that those people that you try to please, they don't give two craps about you? They are living their lives the way that they want to live it, whereas you're living your life according to theirs. My biggest advice when it comes to this, it's just you realizing that you have free will. You have freedom within your life right now. You are wasting it by living in accordance to other people's lives. There's no freedom in people pleasing. There's no freedom in caring about what other people say, because whatever the world has to say, it doesn't matter, and it never will, because it fluctuates. It will. The world is a fickle place. People are fickle, and if you're constantly just going to be relying on that, it's not gonna be good. Stop shying away from things that are true to you. Your morals, your beliefs, your values, your everything. Stop shying away from those things just because other people do not agree with it. If other people do not agree with it, that means that maybe you are not aligned to other people. And honestly, you just have to be okay with the fact that not everybody's going to agree with your beliefs, values, morals, whatever the case may be. Literally, you just have to realize that within yourself. Imagine you can't say certain things. Let's say you have a group of friends and whatever, and now you're like, oh, I can't say this because they might be offended, unless it's based on their religion, unless it's like super personal and it's like religion based and everything, you know it's going to be disrespectful. There's a time and a place. You know things that you should never say because you know that it is genuinely disrespectful. But I'm talking about things of like speaking your mind in terms of stating your opinion and making that known before you say anything, that maybe you're not trying to disrespect someone or whatever. That imagine not saying like small things. I'm talking about small things right now, just because you're worried about what other people are going to say. Are you truly ever yourself? Do you ever truly get to live in your authenticity as a people pleaser? So all the people pleasers out there, do you truly get to live in your authenticity? Does being a people pleaser fulfill you? Real question. Prioritize yourself. If you want to be a villain, you have to prioritize yourself, your happiness, your needs, and your desires. I think with this one, you just have to prioritize you over a lot of toxic people. There's going to be a lot of toxic people in your life, and you're just going to have to be okay with that. It's inevitable. You cannot run away from it. You're literally going to get your first heartbreak. You're going to cry. You're going to experience all of these things, and it's useless if you want to run away from all of those things. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to be prioritizing people, other people constantly, where is that going to get you? And it's not to say that I'm not saying don't be good, don't be kind. I am an advocate for that. I am an advocate for respecting one another, being kind to one another, I love that, and I love to be that person and everything, and just being there for people and just helping people in the best way that I can to my best ability and everything, because I know my blessings are going to come at the end of the day. And I feel like you just have to know when to be selfish, and you just have to know when to draw the line and everything. I just feel like there's a time and a place. I remember, actually, this point is not really aligned to this thing that I'm about to say. It's not really aligned to the point, but I remember a friend once said to me, she said, I had this conversation like a long time ago, and then she told me that I should never, basically said that don't ever let somebody else make me feel any less, and I shouldn't let somebody else bring me back to the same place that I fought so hard to get out of. And that really stuck with me. And I feel like also that's a huge part in just embracing your inner villain. That's also just a great part in just moving on and just, being okay with not necessarily being okay with other people think or say, because you just have to realize, other people are gonna have things to say. People are never gonna stop saying things about you, whether it's good or whether it's bad. People are always gonna say things about you. You just have to be okay with it and at peace. You just have to make sure that it doesn't affect you. You just have to make sure that it doesn't hold any power over you, because the second it does, the second that someone's measly opinion holds something over you, is when you know that you need to do some inner work. You need to revisit a place in your life where that was something present, where that had triggered you or whatever, where that triggered you. Last but not least, which basically links into what I was just saying, and stop caring what other people are saying. This one is, if they do not know you, you do not pay them attention. I've said this like a dozen times. I've always prioritized other people's perception of me, and I've always felt like this misunderstood person, and I just felt like I just wanted people to see the real me, and that resulted in me being this person who just wanted to be liked by everyone and just who wanted to people please, which is why I'm so passionate when it comes to people pleasing, because it's something that I have experienced firsthand. And it's like, you need to stop giving attention and importance to people who don't know you. There's one thing in just caring about what people think. It could be people that you know personally, because some people that you know personally are very opinionated and just have a lot to say, and sometimes you don't need that. But there are times where it's just strange, it's coming from other people, And it's also strange how that also just affects you also in a way, because you wouldn't maybe think, you would think that maybe just because it's coming from strangers that like it means nothing. Some people, some keyboard warriors just really know how to hit a nerve, and I just feel like whatever they call you and everything, they want you to be that person. They want you, they, whatever they say that's offensive to you, they want to get a rise out of you. They want you to be this person that is going to engage in something that doesn't serve them, so that they can feel good about themselves, so that they can feel like they have power over you. But you know what you have to do? You need to stand firm, and you need to embrace your inner villain, because that's the only way that they will ever shut up. You need to embrace your inner villain, and I just feel like you also have to be okay with the fact that they're never going to stop. People are never going to stop talking. If you're like, even public figures, like people who have been in the industry for like 20 plus years or like 15 years plus, people still have a lot to say about them. They still have their own haters, but they're literally at the peak of their career. They're literally still dominating in whatever area of their career, industry, or whatever, they still dominate in. And it's just like, imagine where those people would be if they listened to the naysayers. Just imagine. But no, they embrace the inner villain, and they're exactly where they want to be. And you should want that for yourself as well. You guys have come to the end of the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This was probably going to be the last of anything of like the bad guy villain era, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And let me know what other content that you guys would like for me to put out. I am really interested in what you guys have to say, so just comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you did. And yeah.